there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another, car video. This is actually my third take. I was trying to do this thing and thing cut off. Anyway, everybody is not going to be happy about your self-improvement. And look, let me break some shit down to y'all, right? People are funny. Like, you find out who your friends are when you down and out, right? You know, when you're in the gutter or something, you find out who your real friends are. But you also find out who your friends are when you're successful. Because a lot of people really don't want to see you as a success, right? Now, before the other video cut off, I was talking about this this movie called Charlie, right? And it was about this dude, we would call him on the spectrum now, but they, you know, at the time he would have been considered mentally retarded, right? And it was based on a book called Flowers for Algernon, right? And Algernon was this mouse which some scientists worked on, and they increased his intelligence. So they did it on a person, right? Charlie, right? And it was interesting, like, to kind of set it up, Charlie worked a menial job at this kind of plant or something, right? He worked a menial job, and one of the things the other workers used to always do, they used to always give him a task to complete. And because, you know, he just didn't have the mental capacity to do it, he would always fail at it, and they would laugh at him, right? All right. But then he had this procedure done on him, his intelligence increased. So they did the little trick one more time, and he completed it. Now, most of the guys kind of cheered for him, but then one guy was like hot. He was mad. It was like, how dare he? And then they did some stuff to get him fired, right? You would think they would all be happy for him, but they weren't. And I use that as an analogy, is just like in going through life. Like, I know a lot of people, they watch my channel and they'll say, you know, my life's improved. And that's my main thing. That's my main thing on this channel, is self-improvement. Now, I talk about it in the context of women, of course, but, you know, really, you'll find if you improve with women, you'll improve in other areas of life. And in fact, you know, that's one of the more emphasis just on life improvement I'm going to be doing in 2019, starting around February. I had to explain on the Deep Thought channel why I say February and not like the first of the year, right? Anyway, that's the same thing in life. Like, you improving, like, okay, you watching my videos, right? You might be watching it to get women, right? All of a sudden you start getting women. Some of those same friends who, since people tend to hang around similarly minded people, they probably weren't getting women at first or something, or they not getting women, so all of a sudden they see you getting it. You think they'd be happy for you, but nah, they gonna start hating on you, right? And, you know, just in other areas of life, like say you around some broke people, right? All of a sudden you start doing some stuff, educating yourself, or you might get another job. All of a sudden they ain't liking you like they used to. Like, you might see it on jobs sometimes, right? Like when you were down with, like, I've seen this on retail jobs especially, because that's a good example where somebody can move up. You know, when you just, like, with everybody else, everybody's like, yeah, and they talking trash. But then when you say, all right, I'm going to move up, I'm going to do what I have to do, become a manager, move up, all of a sudden they get funky. Of course, they accuse you of being funky, but it's really them, right? And, you know, I know in simple terms people will say hating, but really what it is, once people, and they'll do this with certain people, they don't really want to see certain people succeed. They want you to be miserable with them. Like, if you get a woman, right? Say you get a woman, a group of women, they having trouble, you know, general trouble of a man, but then one say, you know what, I'm tired of all this complaining. You know what, I'm going to fix up, I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going to work on my attitude, change my whole disposition. All of a sudden, men going crazy. Nah, and she might think, oh yeah, my girls, they're going to love me for it. No, they ain't. Shit, those heifers going to hate your ass. And that's just in life. And then I'm going to tell you what, that's one thing, if any type of self-improvement, regardless of what area it's in, you're going to find yourself losing some friends. But then, I shouldn't say friends, I should like air quote the friend thing, because a real friend, they're going to be with you no matter what. Even if it's a situation where because of circumstances, you develop a whole different set of friends. A real friend's still gonna be there. Like a lady friend said to me a few weeks ago and stuff. She said, she might go a year or so without talking with anybody, or a couple years, but she'll talk with them because she's a real friend to people. She'll talk with them like she just talked with them the other day. Right? But see, everybody ain't like that though. Everybody ain't like that. Like people, I'm gonna tell you what, people got a lot of jealousy. A lot of people don't want to see somebody else eat or something like that. Heck, you might even see it on YouTube sometime for all I know. Somebody doing well, all of a sudden the next person gonna hate on them. Right? And I'm gonna be honest, ain't really nothing you can do with it. Because understand something with people in your life. Some are meant to be there like that forever type of thing. Like y'all just gonna be cool forever, no matter what. Right? Even if y'all go years without speaking or encounter each other, it'll be like nothing's ever changed, right? Some are just in for a season, right? They in for that moment. There's something that they supposed to bring you in something right there. Some lesson you supposed to learn with them. And when people get in trouble, sometimes they stay around that person they ain't meant to, because that could be sometimes those are very people who want to be like jealous or whatever, right? And like I said, it happens a lot. That's one thing to be very, very, very concerned about. But at the same time, you can't let that stop you, because I've seen a lot of people who slowed their own personal growth because they didn't want to leave some people behind. They'll say, and they know it too. They say, I could do this, but, I didn't want to leave people behind. But the reality is, you're going to have to. Because if they really your friends, they're going to want to see you be the best, and they're going to want to see you grow. Now, if they not your friends, yeah, they want you to be there. You're like any true friend is going to want you to push it. That's why you might get somebody, they might have a low station in life, but they know somebody real bright. Right? Maybe somebody in school or something. Or here's a good example. Since, I haven't used the term Pookie and Ray Ray in a long time, right? Sometimes you get some of those Pookie and Ray Rays, and I've talked about this in a video before, right? They'll see that one kid who's really a smart kid, right? Really a smart kid, and they'll fight to keep him out of trouble. They'll keep people off of him and say, nah, you can't mess with him. And they'll do that. Shoot, sometimes they might even take the hit for him, even if they were getting in trouble, say, nah, you got potential. Those are actually real friends. That's an extreme example, but a real friend is going to like help you get there, right? Now I know somebody, because I know people always shit. Some of the stuff I say, people be trying to analyze it and stuff. Say, hey, that happened to you, Ron. Nah. As far as I know, because I'm the type, I just roll on anyway. I am. I'm the type. I don't. After a while, I don't hang out with your ass anyway if you ain't going in the same direction. Y'all gotta realize something about Uncle Rom. Rom can be cold-blooded. Rom is very, very, very much self-centered. I'm very giving, but at the end of the day, it gotta serve a purpose for me. That's just how I am. I'm sure some psychologists try to figure it out. Say, yes, he's narcissistic. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I just know I'm gonna look out for my own interests. If I don't feed myself, what's the point of trying to tell people how to feed themselves, right? But anyway, right? You gotta just move on, You gotta just move on, and the people who truly love you, they're gonna be there for you. But don't hold your self-improvement back. Honestly, don't hold your self-improvement back just to be with the crowd or anything. Sometimes you gotta lose that crowd, but here's the beauty of it. As you self-improve, you develop a new crowd. It's not as big. It's definitely not as big as the other one. But it's the real crowd, because the people in my circle now, they real folks. Like I got men and women. Men and women. That's something else I need to talk about too. Man, too many people got this like man versus woman thing, man. You need to have both. You need to have men and women in your circle. You need to have, you really going to succeed in life. But like I said, my circle, I keep a small circle. I keep a small ass circle, right? For that reason, if you're a person, I think there's honestly, well, I ain't gonna put that out there. I was gonna say something. I'm gonna leave that. But honestly, if a person in my circle, they're about something, they got something going on. God, I hate this sun right here because I can never see. It's like a certain angle this sun is at, and I can't see any cars coming. Shit. That shit dangerous. It's like a certain angle. It's always at a certain angle, and I'm like, I can't even see nothing. You know, like all these kids up here. Hey, don't step out and get too shot. I can't see you, kid. I've grown beyond trying to run y'all over. Anyway, right? That's all I got for today. Yeah, the school bus is coming, so you know they be running all over the place. Get to those indoctrination centers we call schools. Yeah. Anyway, right? That's it for today, y'all. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.